So we're going to go deep into the world of spirituality today with my wonderful guest, Matias De Stefano.
Yeah.
Talk to me for a moment. I want to go deep into, I know that you have had some very profound spiritual experiences. Where did they begin?
They were always like that since I was born. I remember the moment I was born and all the beings that were around me, and I remember the doctor's face and everything.
You do?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, I started to be connected and remembering everything since I was born, and of course at the beginning was seeing beings that were like the imaginary friends,
right?
But they never stopped, and they kept on going. Of course, I thought maybe I have schizophrenia. Maybe I have a problem.
Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah. And I even asked my mom to take me to a doctor or something to check on me, because I was having headaches every time that I was having flashes and memories. And
at what age was that?
When I was 12. Yeah. So I started to have a lot of problems, because as a child, it's fun. But as a teenager, it was like, I don't understand what is happening. And I thought that a lot of people had the same. And so it was weird when I went to school, and suddenly, like, just a few were able to share with me stuff. And no one can relate to it. And I thought, everyone must have this.
So give me an example. Give me an example of a normal day in school. Like what would happen that led you to believe like, whoa, something's going on here?
Well, at school, for example, I used to see like double realities. So sometimes there were beings crossing the walls and telling me things, or just little creatures, beings helping me with homework. Or during the exams, and if I had a companion from school that did something bad to me, they would teach me and explain why was that reaction and why I should comprehend what was happening. So they were all the time there with me, different beings all the time, and there was one moment when I was 12 that they said, in 7 days, you will start to remember.
Right.
Don't think about it. Just write it or make some drawings. And then you'll figure out.
Could I ask you a question? This is a personal question. Whenever I have journeyed with ayahuasca, and I take it you have not, because you don't.
Oh, yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I want to talk to you about that as well. Yeah. But whenever I had journeyed with ayahuasca, it's always they. Yeah. So for my own personal reference, and I don't know if they is my spirit guides. I don't know if they is the aliens. I don't know if they is, who is they to you?
Well, there are many levels of that.
Okay.
To make it more, I think, easier to comprehend is like if you say, this is Matias. Okay. But if you go inside my body, there are different organs.
Right.
So there's the heart that works different from the intestines. The kidneys, the brain, endocrine system. So many things. It's very complex, and they have no idea who Matias is.
Yeah,
they just are part of something. And then when you go to the cells on a specific organ, they are completely different. So they are they don't even know that they are part of the heart. And when you go inside the cell, you have molecules that they don't even know that they are part of a cell. So we call them organs, cells, atoms, different structures, but actually it's all me. So when we say they or other beings, it's actually cells in the same body, that it's another part of me, another reflection of myself, but because they are expressing in a different way, we can call them they.
They.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a good conversation. I was, my reaction, my bodily reaction was to truth. Because what I saw immediately was I saw, like, you just helped me connect the dots. I saw how literally everything is connected.
Yeah.
And while how you were talking here, I saw here the expansiveness of everything. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's
okay.
because I talk it with the body because people can relate to it.
But it was a wonderful example.
Yeah.
A wonderful example.
Because but then you can amplify to a galaxy.
Right. Yeah. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I went there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Beautiful. Fantastic. So then keep going. So then, like, I know for myself, it has felt at times like a cheat code to life because you're not alone and you get answers and messages and downloads that like I didn't get them prior to ayahuasca. You're saying you've had this like since birth.
All the time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a constant perception of things all the time. Actually, when I first did ayahuasca, it was because one of them came to me and told me, "You have been too distracted in this third dimension. So now the only way you can reconnect is through a tool of the third dimension and go back to the roots." And I was like, no. So I was fighting with it for a long time, like, no. I won't do it. And everything happened for me to be pushed to do an ayahuasca ceremony by them.
Really?
And I was able to amplify what I had like many times. And so that was like a few years ago.
So can you give me an example of like how amplifying that looks like for you?
Well, when I am like here talking to you, I'm not like someone that sees things in people or stuff like that, but I'm all the time seeing codes. Like everything goes back to energy and frequency.
That's right. Yeah.
So when you tune yourself in a specific frequency, you start to see whatever is resounding with you. So you kind of see everything because it's like it's a code actually that everything is the same, just tuned in a different way.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of start to perceive different data, different information. So I usually do that, and I see some things or realities or codes appearing everywhere. But with ayahuasca, it was all amplified, like seeing it, feeling it, and be able to speak to each one of those aspects.
During the journey or even after?
During
the journey.
Yeah, during. Of course, that after, it keeps on opening.
I picture you like, I don't know, I literally saw you going.
But basically, what my friends see from the other side when they, it was like, sometimes I was moving so fast that to say that's not even human.
That's what
It was like moving like, the mudras.
Right.
Like
right.
This, yes. But so fast that was connecting realities.
I literally saw that. Saw that.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of movement.
That was wild. I literally saw you.
Yeah, doing that.
I saw you doing that.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Beautiful. Yeah. I want to talk to you about something. I want to, the reason I do why I do is because when I first started to understand how everything is connected, how we're all one, how we are all limitless in our potential. And the thing that stops us is fear, and the opposite of fear is love. I guess what I want to ask you is, like, let's start with the basics. From your understanding, what is fear and what is love?
Well, it's basically it's the same thing, that one vibrates very low, the other one vibrates very high, but it's exactly the same string. So usually the origin of everything is love. But what is love? It's not the human love. It's compared to magnetism, like a magnet. So that is actually love, which is the force of positive and negative attracting to each other in order to create links. So that's the beginning. Then appears fear. How appears fear? When this link might be broken.
That's right.
So from the very moment that the first link is created, also the possibility of being broken is created, or missing a part of it is created. So we start to weave a whole network of connectivity, but taking care that maybe it's going to be broken. So that is like a constant in the structure of the whole universe of connect, but be aware it might disconnect. Be aware it might disconnect, or you might lose a part of it. And so fear became a way of evolution. So we exist because of fear, because we are trying to do as much as we can in order to keep us connected. What happened is that it creates rigid structures that we call patterns. Yeah. So that pattern is a fear that says, these have saved us. This helped us evolve. So don't break it.
Stay right
because
here.
you can die.
Right.
You can stop existing. And that's what is preventing us to actually expand. Because in order to expand, you have to release something of you in order to become something different.
That's right.
So that's the moment when you are trying to transform yourself, but all the patterns of fear says, hey, but be careful, because what happens if you don't find another part?
You could die.
You could, stop existing.
That's right.
So now in terms of mammals, as we are, we have evolved as animals to create those links through this magnetism that we feel in the heartbeat that we call love. So we created all this culture around love and all this culture around fear. So people that love you a lot are the ones that will put more fear in you.
That is right.
Because otherwise,
they want you to be safe based off of their perception of what safe is, based off of the codes that they are living in and the frequency that they are in.
That's why usually when you start to transform yourself and open, suddenly you break up, you go out of your job, you enter in a crisis.
I just did a clip on this. I literally just did a clip that said, the scariest thing about awakening is the fact that like there's a part of you that has to die.
Yeah.
Because everything that you created in your old self prior to awakening was based off of fear.
Yeah.
It was created literally from the old self.
Yeah, totally.
So you might have to break up with a partner. You might have, I mean, and by the way, when I share this with you guys, I only say that because that's what happened to me.
Yeah, of course.
Like I realized that my entire life, my entire paradigm, religion, work, relationship, health.
Yeah.
It's funny, even health and diet, it all of it had to be like repatterned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. For the mammal survival is terrible because it means that we live in herds, in packs. So in our cellular memory, if you transform yourself in a different way of the pack, you can be left behind and die.
Fuck, I'm having an ego death moment, like literally right now. Yeah.
So you can basically die because you have no protection. When you sleep, there's no one watching. So maybe you cannot find food because in order to hunt, you needed a teamwork, So that's why to be alone with yourself, it's very scary for a mammal.
Yeah.
Because it means death.
Yeah.
And that's recorded in our cells. That's why sometimes we try to make a change in our life and suddenly we get sick and we have a disease or something starts to hurt in the body. Is the pattern that is trying to survive and letting the brain know, hey, remember that if you do that, we might die.
This is going to happen, right?
We might die, yeah. And even if our mind says, I'm ready for change, maybe your liver is not. Right. Maybe your kidney is saying, fuck no.
Yes.
Like, I'm not ready for that. And all the traumas come that are not even yours, but because biologically we are a consequence of the first cell. So we have the memory of everything that happens since the very beginning. So imagine millions of years of practicing how to survive, and suddenly you became spiritual and say, now I'm going to release everything.
Yeah.
And the billions of years of your cell says, what?
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me because like the example that I can give is our event Awaken, right? It's a powerful event that helps people in many ways. Like I feel like in those 3 days, there's lots of codes that are being like recalibrated. Yeah. But so many people, you have no idea, like 3 or 4 days prior, or even if they see an ad, that fear is telling them, no, don't go. Yep. It's scary. I have to travel by myself. It costs too much money. Yeah. It's all fear.
Yeah. To be afraid of something is a good signal because it means that your whole life is taking you to change.
Yes.
So to feel fear is not the problem. The problem is when you got stuck in the idea of the belief of I might die.
Yeah.
And you don't dare to jump.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So fear is like a tuning to understand if you are in the right path of change or you're just
right.
It's impossible for you to have a successful relationship with another human being or a partner if you don't have a successful relationship with yourself. And what we as human beings don't realize is that we are deeply disconnected. We're disconnected from Mother Earth, we're disconnected from peace, we're disconnected from love. What we do at Awaken is we curate different exercises to help you reconnect first to yourself, and then the beautiful process of reconnecting to everybody begins. And that's why Awaken is so powerful. You'll do more in 3 days at Awaken than you would do 30 years anywhere else.
I was so stuck, and now I feel peace.
Awakening has been the best thing we have done for our marriage.
Coming here, I realized that the answers were inside of me all the time.
Head on over to DannyMorel.com/awaken now to get your tickets today. A lot of this shows up in relationships. You know, there's so many people who are so wounded and so hurt that they are afraid to open their heart.
Yeah.
That was me with Jen. I was literally afraid to open my heart. You know, if I'm honest, there are still to this day, there's parts of me that it's like my mind will go, whoa, hold on. Like,
totally.
Yeah. And then I have to like bring myself back in, you know? Talk to me about how this pattern shows up in relationships and how it could stop us from like being loved, receiving loved, and giving love.
Well, the first love that we have experienced is the Matrix, and Matrix is a Latin word for womb. So a matrix is a network of things that holds you. That's a matrix. So that's why matriz is in Spanish too, and it's the origin of the word matter, which is the origin of the word mother. So mom is the first thing, and the first pattern that we have, and pattern gives the origin to father. So a pattern is a structure that tells you this way, So father is the one that leads. Mother is the one that holds and creates. So that's why it's the matrix. So those two patterns, pattern and matrix, both of them are the first ones on creating the links for us to exist. But in order for us to keep on going, we have to go away from the father, move on. And in order for us to exist means to go out in Latin. So in order to go out, to exist, we have to be born from outside the womb, which means go out from a matrix into another. But what happened? Everything that we know that we are has been created because of this pattern and this matrix. And we are conditioned for life with that structure first, which means that according to how we were structured in the womb, all our relationships will feel the same. Are we trapped? Are we feeling the pressure? Are we comfortable there because we are protected? Or are we the ones that wants to be born all the time, like, and breathe, so we cannot be in a relationship? So it's all related to mom and dad or matrix pattern. And the relationship with the father also. It's a guide. What if it's not that? If there's no that? So I don't have a way. A guide. Where do I go? So you have to figure it out yourself.
On your own.
Yeah. So those first two relationships that we have are the ones that will determine every other relationship that we have. So when you become aware, conscious, you have to go back to the very origin of your creation in order to start to release the ideas that you have from pattern and matrix, in order for you to transform the way you relate with someone. But if you don't do that process of going back and transform that, you will be a consequence of that structure.
That's right.
So that's why it's common to say that people look at partner that reminds their fathers or mothers. Yeah. It's in the subconscious. It's something that you don't even think about.
Right.
It's conditioned like that. So actually, so because of culture, we want to be in relationships because that makes us feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
That we belong to something and we are held by a matrix. So we need it. Mm-hmm. But actually we don't need it. Mm-hmm. Here we don't need it. We just need it here. Mm-hmm. So when you start to work in your inner self and you connect with yourself, you realize that, oh, I don't need anybody. I just can be with anybody. Mm-hmm. I can relate to everybody, but I don't need anybody. And
this guy knows his stuff.
But yeah, that takes a while because
yeah. That's
we have many cells.
That's a lot. So then, what is the dance between? My God, guys, if I
it can go anywhere.
I know. I wish you could really understand what he's saying, and I because it's so beautiful it's so liberating when you get there. But then, then let me ask you this question. So then what is the dance between understanding? A lot of people have a hard time with this. I'll say on social media, you eventually get to a place where you don't need anybody. And they're like, well, of course you do. There's healthy attachments.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Yeah. And so what if you're on a spiritual awakening journey and you get to the place where you realize you don't need anybody? But there's this beautiful other side where you get to select somebody, to be with, because not that they fulfill you, and not that you need them, but they're the person that you want to do life with.
Yeah. Well, there's, of course, there's a love and unconditional love. So basically all relationships are conditioned, because when you create a link with someone, that means that one or the other should be the negative or the positive. Immediately that happens. If you are positive, the magnets go out. So that's why there must be always something receiving and something giving in order for it to create a link. It's pure magnetism. Otherwise, it just repels to each other. So what is unconditional love? That when you both are in positive, you accept the other, even if the other needs to do something completely different
than you.
Yeah.
Right.
And you weave that structure, but you don't need for that person to be with you. You just know that that person is part of you. But you don't need to belong to that person, because you're positive or negative. Negative is not bad.
Yes.
It's just a different energy. So
which is the masculine, which is the feminine?
Feminine is the negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now hold on. So the feminine is the negative.
Yeah.
But so many people, so many women have a hard time understanding that the positive is masculine.
Yeah.
And the feminine is negative. Why is that so?
Penis and vagina.
Penis and vagina. I love it.
Well,
the penis gives.
The penis gives.
The vagina receives. Plain and simple.
1-0.
That's right.
So it's simple as that. So, right. But we all have positive and negative, because otherwise we wouldn't be electrical beings.
That's right.
So every one of our chakras are positive, negative. And sometimes when we have a lock, like energy is not flowing, you get sick, is because positive, negative. So the flow doesn't work and the energy gets stuck.
Right.
So we all are positive, negative. That if we are working perfectly.
Right.
Because when that works perfectly, it's what we call Kundalini ascension.
Yes.
But usually it doesn't work perfectly. So, we have to work on trying to balance that, which means that every part of our bodies, of our body, there are parts that receive and parts that give. Receive and give. So it's everywhere in our body. And our own body divided itself into two options of giving and receiving in order to multiply better. So that's women and men, not feminine or masculine.
Mm-hmm.
Feminine or masculine can be anywhere, in either. Like it can be a woman that is masculine and can choose to be a man. And there's a, like...
Yeah.
Today is very normal. It used to be 5,000 years ago too. Like now it's coming back. But that's not a problem. That is just positive, negative change of energy. Biologically, you have 0 and 1, which is receiving. So 0 negative is not bad, it's receiving.
That's right.
And because of our basics evolution in this planet, men were giving all the time. That's why men were designed to go out and not to try to find within. So usually men did the going out, the hunt, the reproduction and stuff, spreading the seed outside, needed to travel, to go to different groups. Women, because they were vulnerable, but when you say that today, it's very weird, right? Because it's like, don't say that.
Don't tell me I'm vulnerable.
Don't tell me I'm vulnerable.
Right.
But when you
don't mansplain me.
Yeah, when you have to procreate for 9 months, you cannot run, you cannot hunt, you cannot do anything. So
you're vulnerable.
You're vulnerable.
Right.
So that's why men needed to protect women.
That's right.
During the process of procreation.
That's right.
Because that was the key to survival.
That's right.
So that's why it was so important that the women needed to be inside. And that's why they had more time to discover themselves. That's why women wake up easier than men.
That's why when yeah, it's so funny. That's why when you come, like my message, what I share, it's like 80% women,
Of course.
20% men.
Yeah, because women are able to connect to many dimensions at the same time, and men just one.
That's right.
So because women are matrix, so
because the woman is the master of the spiritual world, and the man is the master of the physical.
Yeah, it's well, it could be like that, but actually, it's more related to the feminine is the one that has to pay attention to many things in order to exist. So has to pay attention to feelings, imagination, the children, survival, but learn how to prepare the food for the kids at home. So I'm talking about 70,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And life was like that until 100 years ago.
I want to talk to you about that. So what was life like? Because, subconsciously, part of what my mission is to help people realize what life was like prior to what started happening 50 to 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So and because I've seen it. I've seen it in my journeys. And to me, it almost feels like a calling backwards, right? To the way things used to be. Because if we don't go backwards, the future is not scary per se, but it's just things are changing very rapidly.
Yeah.
Very rapidly.
Very much.
So what was life like 50,000 years ago?
Terrible.
Okay.
For start, there were animals that could eat us.
Yeah.
Huge animals that now they are extinct, but they could eat us. So we had to be all the time in alert to the dark. And that's what created a very unique ability that humans have, which is to see things where they are not. Because in the dark, we weren't able to see. So our brain have discovered this way to see faces where there are not, which allows you to enter another dimension. But in our reality, the third dimension, it helps you to survive because maybe there's a huge tiger about to eat you. And if you don't recognize it in the middle of the dark, it can kill you. But if you see shapes like that, so you are constantly paying attention to what could happen. So in that time, we were all the time scared, all the time trying to survive.
Wow.
All the time trying to protect women on a cave so they could have the children and protect the babies, so animals didn't eat them. So that's how life was.
Because we didn't have houses, we didn't have shelter.
We didn't have nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
We were just out in the open.
Out in the open, and some of them, they started to create like how to say this, tents. Yeah. Like yurts, something like that. In the first ones in Kazakhstan, Mongolia. So
the first ones,
yeah, it was or clay in Africa, but it was,
that's fucking wild, dude. The way we evolved, like we
so
evolved,
much. And that way of living was like that for humans. We lived like that for at least 270,000 years, as Homo sapiens. So almost 300,000 years of that. And that changed in the moment of civilization. It started to change. So we started to create structures and society. And then when we felt protected, so women and men started to have the same jobs.
Right.
Which was, okay, now everyone can harvest or hunt or be in power. So it was we
It's like
started
a balancing.
we started to balance it,
Right.
to understand our own process of evolution. Because we didn't have to survive because others were taking care of the food, we were able now to sit down and think and meditate. Good timing.
Isn't that?
Yeah. So it's some people got the ability to meditate and to think about things. So philosophy appeared. So it was a whole process. Just because another one was taking care of the fence, another one was taking care of food. So now we can sit, talk, and relax. And that's what created a civilization for the first time. And then wars started to happen because the civilization started to grow. So they started to fight each other. Again, defense. So again, women back with the children, men to war. And that system kept on going until today. And we just started to shift it 100 years ago. So there are still people alive today that are still living like that.
Wow.
And so the subconscious of humanity have people in Africa, in Asia, in South America, mainly, Middle East, living like thousands of years ago. We are still there are people still trying to survive, live in the middle of nowhere, and using the old ways. The thing is that some cultures accomplish to transcend all this process. So we are way farther beyond, so we can understand much more other things, to understand the potentiality of both as equals, and
right.
And that's perfect because that's where we are going. But the shift has been so fast that that we started to blame each other for not allowing us to be, when we don't realize that that memory is in ourselves. It's not in society. It's not in a I don't know, like a man culture or these kind of things. It's been forever like that.
Wow.
So in order to change it, we cannot blame a sex or a religion. We cannot blame structures. We can only transform the cells
Within.
So that's why where consciousness is so important.
You mentioned religion. Talk to me about religion.
Well, religion was a very good way of survival, in which people, through love, try to protect each other by fear.
That's right.
So religion is love. It's just that they use fear as a way of love.
My whole life transformed.
Useless now, but
yeah, no, I get
but
that.
But useful for many people.
Yeah. My whole life transformed literally when I saw that moment. There was a pastor. I was about to get a divorce, and the pastor told me, "You're going to lose all of God's blessings on your life if you choose this divorce." And in that moment, this was before ayahuasca, but in that moment, I literally was like, I don't know what love is, but that's not love.
Yeah.
And this is the scariest moment of my life, but it feels like I have to do this to go discover what love is. Because I felt his, and by the way, you're right, from the love that he knows and his desire to protect and help. So I understand that, right? Yeah. He, from his perspective, based off of where he was living and his belief system and his codes, right? He was trying to do his best to protect me based off of how he protects himself.
Yeah, exactly. So all religions do the same. And that's why I don't blame religion for what they have done, because they were trying to do the best that they could with the tools that they had.
Right.
And religions were born in very tough moments in existence, in our history. And we needed that. We needed a guide. We needed a fatherly image to guide us. Something that could connect us all that is not physical. In order for, doesn't matter where you are part of my community.
Right.
You know, so that helped a lot to humans to actually be safe, because when you are alone and scared as a mammal, because you are away from your herd, knowing that there is a father watching you, protecting you and guiding you, even if you cannot see it, it helps to be part of the family.
I get that.
So in the subconscious of people, it helped a lot to have religions, to have order. Another important thing in that moment. Today, we kind of understand what morality is because we have thousands of years of practice of that. But before, it was just whatever. Killing each other with no sense, reproducing with brothers and sisters, which created problems in reproduction. So it was a mess. So what?
Wow, that's wild.
So that's why society needed to establish rules.
Right.
And they said, wait a moment. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. You should do this. You should do that. So we created laws. But laws, if you have a king or a judge, you can just go away and do it anyway. But if it's God and God can see you everywhere, you have to accomplish the law. So it was a good use in that moment when we didn't have Wi-Fi. So religion was very useful for this kind of mindset that needs protection.
When you're what I have, because when I discovered, by the way, when my biggest awakening happened during a journey where shame, guilt, like fear, all of it was like I could see the next energy coming, and then my body would shake and release it, and at the end was like this light. It was death.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I saw myself like I could go through it, or I could choose to stay.
Yeah.
And I remember I chose to stay. It was wild. It was wild. It was wild. But I wanted to bring that up from the very first thing that you said, that it's all codes. Like I have experienced those codes like falling away. And it's interesting because people ask me, like today, I don't feel the need to sit with plant medicine anymore because it's like life is now like bringing me to the places where the codes fall away per se. And one of the reasons I'm so passionate about telling people to do plant medicine is because it's a place, it's a tool here in the 3D world that is there for you when you're ready for all of the codes of fear to fall away.
Yeah, of course. It's like drinking or eating. Your body needs minerals and structures that protein, salts, whatever, that are in nature, and you harvest them and you take them in order to have energy, to grow, to whatever. So you need that in order to have a better nervous system, whatever, and to function in your body. So in terms of mind, you need to create more links, bigger links. So there are specific plants that improve the links in your brain.
Yep.
And that helps you to not just see one option, but all of them or many of them, pathways that you haven't used because you are concentrated here. So in the same way as you take food every day, sometimes to take plant medicine, it's like giving also energy and food for another part of your brain that you don't usually feed.
I love that. I love that. Speaking of food,
but it's not necessary. It's like of course
right.
You're not gonna eat a hamburger every day.
Right.
So it's just to know
there to serve
how
this
to
purpose
use
when
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's to know how to use it. Yeah.
Talk to me about eating animals.
eating animals.
Part of my journey was I went through this phase where I felt that it was like bad to eat animals.
Yeah.
And now, and again, I want to be respectful because I have been through it all.
Yeah.
I have been through fasting 23 hours, vegan, you know, but now I am noticing, like, literally my body just behaves better when I eat animals.
The bad thing about eating animals, there are two things here. One is energetically, and the other one is cultural. The bad thing about this is that we made a commerce about it.
That's right.
And we are as humanity, we are killing more animals than we are supposed to consume, and that's just because of economy. And that's I think that in the future this will be treated like a Holocaust. What is happening today is going to be treated as a Holocaust for sure.
With animals.
For animals, yeah, like because it's terrible what is happening,
and the way that they're treated and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So, in the other hand, we have been designed to eat anything, and certain parts of our body needs certain parts of animals because we have been evolving into that, which doesn't mean that everyone needs it.
Yeah,
because there are some genetic codes in humanity that were more based in plants, and some others that survive because of meat. Like, imagine people that for thousands of years survived in mammoth meat, or in whatever, bison, because there was the only thing around, because it was all frozen. So the Ice Age only gave you the chance to eat meat. You couldn't sow anything.
I'm so good. Your head. This is beautiful because it's like, I think that, like, I remember when I was vegan, you know, it's like I would see someone else that was vegan and like maybe they looked a certain way or whatever, and I was like, wow, that works for them. I want it to work for me.
Yeah.
And to this day, it works for them. It just didn't work for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm finally at peace about that.
Yeah, because we have been designed in a different way, or our history has been completely different. I don't know, the people in the desert, they cannot harvest. The people in the steppes of Russia and Mongolia, or Canada, they couldn't harvest. So only people, sometimes the Middle East, Mediterranean, they were able to harvest. And so these people were more plant-based than animal-based. And that's why most of these people have more chances of accepting more fruits and plants in their system, while other people have been only evolved through eating meat for thousands of years. So it's a natural process, and we can all go to be vegan, but there's another problem there, which is we are millions of people. If we all eat quinoa, we are not killing cows, but we are killing all the soil.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is basically killing most of the richest soil animals, which are all the worms and all the beings that are under. That when you sow so much like that, you create a disaster, ecological disaster, just by eating plants.
Yeah.
And that's because we are millions of humans to feed. So sometimes it's not the answer. And even though when you go more aware and more aware, you will recognize that when you eat a salad, you are eating beings that are alive and that have emotions. It's just that because you don't see them scream, you don't think about that. But plants talk to each other all the time saying, I'm being eaten. Take care of yourself. Like screaming to one another. And we just don't pay attention to that because they don't have eyes. And because they don't have eyes, we think that they don't feel like us.
And here we are as humans now. Like, we always find ways to fight with each other. Now we're fighting with each other over vegan
Over
or
consciousness.
carnivore.
Yeah, and that's amazing. That's I find humans amazing in that terms, because there will always be something to fight for. And it doesn't matter how evolved or good this is going to be. The reason why there is evolution is because there are disagreements. And without disagreements, there's no evolution and no transformation. So we have to get used to that.
I got 2 more things.
Yeah.
Talk to me about politics.
Politics.
Yeah.
Well,
it's another place where we give so much energy to fighting.
Yeah. And today is useless. And the reason why it's useless, the system made us believe that it's needed, but the only reason why it's needed is because we haven't had a system that allows us to be who we are. And we always need someone to do it for us. Like politics, the way that politics is today, it was designed in Greece with all the systems that Plato described. Of course, there were more systems before, like, well, the kingdom and everything, but the idea of what they are, it was established in Greece. That's why all the words are Greek. Like politics means the relationships of a city. Government means to navigate to another island. So the governor was actually a sailor that would go to another island to represent the people of this island. And that's very Greek. So a govern is to know where you're going to speak with someone. And politics is about this little tiny place. But today we have networks, and today we have social media, and we have apps that allows us to change the world just by clicking. And so politics is right now it's starting to decay.
That's
because they are useless. Because what is a parliament, for example? A parliament is a place to parler, which is to speak. And usually is full of all people. All people in Latin is senex. That's senate. So the senate, the senatus, senators, means all one. The all ones. So that's because previously the old ones
were the wise ones.
That's right. And they had the experience, the knowledge, so they represented people to speak, because most of the people had no idea how to talk.
Yeah.
Today, we all had a base in school. We all know exactly what kind of we want. Of course, there are people more prepared, but why we choose for some people to represent us in a choice that we can do by clicking in a phone?
Because we don't feel empowered with ourselves.
Yeah. And that's why the system tricked us with something. For example, United States, here I hear people talking about democracy all the time. And you know that the state is the only...
The United States is the worst.
You don't have democracy.
No.
You never had.
No.
Which I find amazing.
Yeah.
You never had it. You had this weird system of electoral college, which is not democracy. It's feudalism, and basically you choose the one that will choose for you.
That's right.
Which is,
you choose the one that will choose for you.
Which is like
humans.
That's not democracy.
If you're listening right now, All of it is, I'm telling you, you can go on the journey. You could just listen here. Eventually you'll find out none of it matters. The only thing that matters is you, what you want and what you want to create.
Yeah.
And finally, with that, I have to end with Mother Earth, with the planet, with how important it is for us to take care of the planet.
Well, one of the biggest things that we have to change in our way of thinking is that there's no Mother Earth and humans. We are Earth. We are cells of this planet. So it's like one of our neurons saying, I will take care of the body. Like, no, I'm the body too. So I have to take care of myself. And how do I take care of myself? Being coherent with environment. And so Mother Earth doesn't need us. The only reason why the Earth needs us is because the Earth evolved to become aware. Who am I? The question, who am I, created humans. That's why we are asking all the time, what can it be? Where can it be? It's just the planet actually thinking, having like this conversation in between cultures, religions, traditions, saying, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? What could I be? So it's actually the planet, and we are the neurons of the planet, thinking, creating links. So Mother Earth can't just wipe us all, destroy everything as she did like 6 times, and here we are. So the egoistic belief of we have to take care of Earth take us away from the real thing, which is we are Earth.
That's right.
We don't have to take care of Earth. When you are Earth, you will start taking care of yourself.
Beautiful.
Okay, so that's the major shift that we have to do. We are the mother. We are creators all the time. We are creating all the time. So anything that we do, it's going to be an effect of creation of this planet. And we are just here in one of the tiny processes of evolution. Eventually we will disappear and someone else will take place, but Earth will still be here.
Thank you for this episode. This was wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. How do people find out more about you?
You can search a blog that is called yosoy.red. Yosoy is I am in Spanish, and red, like the color, it's network in Spanish. So yosoy.red, and that can take you to different links. Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for this week's episode. Thanks for joining us. This was, for me, a delight. I hope that it spoke to you. Honestly, I think go back and listen maybe 2 or 3 times because there was a lot here. A lot. We'll see you next week.